Hello and welcome to the tutorial series for the Christmas Carol mini album. For this I'll be using the Christmas Carol collection by Graphic 45. You will find a link in the description to the walkthrough for this mini album, but and in this video we'll be making the base, so we'll use this for decoration later. But as a plan for this, I want to use this paper pad. So the Graphic 45 paper pads have 24 pages. This is 8 by 8, and I've designed this mini album to use basically one pad. There might be a few leftovers, but I want to have as little scraps from this as possible and use all of it. So the pages will be 8 1/8 by 8 1/8, so I can use a full sheet from the pad to mat them. And we'll start by making the base, which is 8 1/8 by 8 5/8. This is the classic way of doing this. If you have your own preferred way of doing it, you can just go ahead and prepare it. This is how I do it. So I have, again, 8 by 1/8 by 8 5/8. So I have the longer side at the top, and I will score this at 1/2 inch. And the same with the other piece of paper, the 8 5/8 side at the top, and score at 1/2 inch. And I use liquid glue for this. You can use tape if you prefer. And to make sure that this doesn't stick down when I add the other half. I'm pressing down from the middle to make sure this lies flat. And now I open it to ensure that it doesn't stick if there was any glue in the middle. Okay, so this is how we have our base pocket page, and we're gonna need 3 of these, so I will prepare the other 2 off camera, and then I'll get back to the construction for the first page. We've got the 3 base pages, and now we're going to start working on the first page. So I have one of the base pages and the full page flip piece, which is 8 by 1/8, 8 and 1/8 by 8 and 5/8. So we're gonna score it the same way we did the base pieces. The 8 and 5/8 side at the top, and score it 1/2 inch. Miter the corners, and then we will glue this down to the base page. So with the opening to the left, I will glue this here. So this is where the spine will go, and this is how the page will open. Okay, so that is it for the first page. And now we'll be working on the insert that will go over here and over this page. So for this we need the insert and the flip. The insert is 7 by 8 and the flip is 8 by 3. And I will score the flip with the 3-inch side at the top. I will score it at 1/2 inch. I have here my little note to know what this is and how the paper size, so I'm gonna erase this now to make sure that it won't show near the score line. For this one we're gonna do the same thing we did for all the others. Burnish. Miter the corners, and this will go down here. Now this has the height of 8 inches to fit into the pocket, so it will go in. It will go in like this. The width is a bit smaller because this is where the piece will be glued down to the spine. So we want to make sure it doesn't hit that part. So this is the first page the flip that we just added, the first page, and then this will go in like this. this will be the first pocket page. Then we have the second base page, and we will take one of the pocket pieces. So this is 4 5/8 by 9. With the 4 5/8 side at the top, we're gonna score 1/2 inch and then rotate it and score at 1/2 inch and at 8.5. So this is how I usually do this. You could flip it around and score the second time, but then you would know for sure that these flips are 1/2 inch. If you didn't cut this perfectly, then this side might be a bit bigger or smaller than what we want. So that's why I score at 1/2 inch and then 8.5 to ensure that between the score lines I have 8 inches. And I make this 8 inches wide, the final pocket, to make sure that it won't go over the width of the page. It will be slightly smaller, up to 1/8 of an inch smaller than this, but with the crease line it's usually a bit bigger than the actual width, so this will ensure it fits well onto the page. So for this step I use tape. And now I will cut here, and the secret I found to ensure that these don't overlap is to cut on the inside of the score line. Let's see if I did that well. No. So they overlap a bit here with the way I cut it, so I'm just gonna snip off a bit more, and now they're fine. And yeah, okay, and then I will cut here the corner a bit, and I always cut away from the score line to make sure I don't cut into the piece that will be seen. Okay, and the pocket is now, with everything folded, it is 4 1/8 by 8, and will be matted with a 4 by 7 7/8 piece. If you can fit this well and are not worried about the width, you can make this 8 1/8, but I find it's safer this way. And in the end, it doesn't really show that we have that extra, that 1/8 of an inch less. I'm gonna use tape here to make sure that none of the inserts catch on the inside. You can use any kind of tape, this won't show. I'm using of the ones that I bought a set of these a while ago, and I'm not using this one, so okay. And I don't remember if I've shown it, but when I picked up the piece, I made sure that the pocket side is on the left. Okay, and I'm keeping my hand over it to make sure it doesn't bulge and stick down off. Okay. So now we have our pocket, and this is the first page. And we flip it, we have this insert, which will be magnetized. I will do that once the other one is in as well. And then we have the pocket, and this is half of the album. The other half will be identical, so we will add the pocket here, then the flip, and so on. So for the second pocket, we're going to take this page that has the pocket on one side, and this is where we'll add the second pocket. And again, score on the 4 5/8 side. So this is a 4 5/8 by 9 piece. Score on the 4 5/8 side at 1/2 inch. Rotate it and score it 1/2 inch and 8.5. So I've probably, well, you've seen it in the walkthrough if you watched it. I will film it after this is done, obviously. And I plan to talk a bit about this there, but while I'm doing steps that you've already seen, I want to talk more about the plan for this and how I got to do it. This was inspired by Paul Ford's One Pad Folio, where he has a design to use one Stamperia pad, 12 by 12 pad that has 10 pages, to completely mat the folio. And I thought that was a great idea. I've actually followed his tutorial and created that pad, that folio, but I've used papers from the Ciao Bella Dreamland collection. The idea is really nice, and I thought of all the 8x8 pads I have, because sometimes when I got to place orders a bit late, I couldn't find all the 12 by 12 pads that I wanted, or some collections were older when I started scrapbooking. The one for this album is 7 years old now, and by the time I found out about it, I could only get the 8x8. So I thought of doing something like Paul Ford's One Pad Folio, but using the 8x8 pads we get from Graphic 45, and that's how I started working on this. And my plan was to make sure we have as little leftovers as possible, because the pads take up little space when they're new, but then all the scraps are 3 times as big as the initial pad. So okay, yeah, I've started gluing this down. You want to make sure that the pocket is on the correct side, so the openings are to the left and to the right, and that it's not, that it's on the same side, so it's not accidentally on top. You could work with that, but it's easier if we don't have to. Okay, so that's how this, and this is a very simple design. It's quick to do, easy to mat with any kind of collection you have. But not all albums have to be complicated and have really fancy elements. When I give albums away to my friends, they usually prefer the ones that are simple. So I tend to make the simple albums for gifting and the more complex ones for myself. Because then I don't forget where the flips go and what's opened and what's a bit more interactive. Okay, so we have the pocket, and that's it for the second pocket page. And now this is how this will go. And now we need to make this insert that will go into the third page. And for that we need the second insert that's 7 by 8 and the flip that is 8 by 3. And with the 3-inch side at the top, score at 1/2 inch. Okay. Now we have this here, this like this, and then this page. Oops. Go in here like that. So it's mirrored from the other page. And then for the last page, we're gonna have a flip like we had on the first one. So we have the last piece, this, which is the full page flip with the 8 5/8 side at the top. We're gonna score at 1/2 inch. So this is where we added the flip. I'm gonna push it like this and then twist it, sorry, and then add it here on the right side. This is Mog. He really likes crafting with me. Just now's not a good time. Okay, so opening is here. I'm gonna add the page right here. So that is it with the base page construction. It's going to be open, insert, pocket, pocket, insert, and then the last flip. Now we want to add the magnets for this, and I also want to do something with these corners. So I will get this is a corner piece cutter, and I will cut the corners like this with the biggest piece. And this is what they look like now. Before I forget, I'm gonna do it for the other one as well. Okay. So, for the magnets, I will add them to this side and then on the base page. And I have these little pieces. They're cut with this. This is the reinforcement, a hole reinforcement punch from We Are Memory Keepers, I think. And I cut up 2 of them and glued them back to back to make them a bit thicker. And this is how I use them. I've seen this in a video by Claire from My Creative Spirit. The purpose of this is to soften the edge of the magnet so it doesn't, it's not such a harsh bump when we mat it. So this is how this will go on the page. And I am setting this a bit away from the edges to make sure that the matting paper has room to stick beyond this. This will go down like this. I will add the piece over it, magnet, and press down and okay. Now the other way. and we have the first part, the first flip magnetized. Okay. For the second one, okay, so this will open like this and like this, and then this is the second one. So let me write down on this. Okay. I'm gonna do the same thing. And the last one, if you have very thin magnets, you don't have to do all of the extra paper piece. My magnets are, I think, 1 millimeter thick, and I found this helps. Okay. Okay, so that's it for this. Let's take another look at it. So, well, page opens, we have this magnetized flip, then the pocket, another pocket, flip that opens, and then the last full page flip. This is it for the first video. In the next video we'll be making the spine and cover. I have a slightly different way of doing it. It's not my idea, but I saw it in a while ago and I really like it. So that's what I'll be showing you. If you have a preferred way of doing it and you don't want to try something new, you can definitely do that for this album. I will link below a video by Daphne from Scrap and Create, where she does a cover and spine for this type of album. If you're looking for a tutorial for the regular way, I really like her tutorial and I followed that one. It's great. But if you're interested to see how I'm doing it, I will see you in the next video.